So I'm going to talk about a method of equivalent pipes for pipes in series and in parallel. An equivalent pipe is a hypothetical pipe that produces the same head loss as two or more pipes in series or in parallel. And so we'll see those two cases. And this method facilitates the analysis of different pipe systems containing several pipes in series or parallels so that you can compare two different two different systems. So let's first see the case of two pipes in series. We have two pipes, Q1 and Q2, but as I said, this applies for any number of pipes. Here we have only two for presenting the first situation. And the continuity equation tells us this flow rates are the same in both pipes. So because they're in series. And remember that Q equals the velocity times the area. Now the velocity will be different, and a smaller area will give me a larger velocity. So we have larger velocities here than here. So the velocity is different, but the flow rates are going to be the same. We're going to determine an equivalent pipe, a hypothetical pipe that has an equivalent length where we have the same flow rate, Q, and also the same head losses across the pipe. So one thing that's important is that there's a head loss in this pipe 1, and then there's a head loss in this pipe 2, and the equivalent pipe has to have the same total head loss. So the equivalent head loss due to friction for this equivalent pipe, HFE, is going to be equal to the head losses from pipe 1 plus pipe 2. We're going to use here the Darcy-Weisbach equation, and it has the velocity. So what we've done is rearranged it in terms of flow rate instead of the velocity. So remember, velocity times the area gives me the flow rate. So if I have the velocity, this expression of Darcy is using the Q over A in each one of these cases. So let's look at this expression. So the equivalent pipe has a head loss that totals the summation of the head loss for pipe 1 and pipe 2. And we just rewrite this Darcy-Weisbach expression for each one of them. And then there's some things that are constant. Remember that the QE also equals Q1 and also equals Q2. So this will cancel. We have this cancel, and this cancel. So we are left with this expression. So what this tells me is that the F times L over D equals the summation of all the lengths over D to the fifth. So this is for pipe in series, and then depending on the information that you have, so you can get the equivalent length here if you have all the lengths, and if you have an equivalent diameter, or if you want an equivalent length for different diameters, and of course you need to have the equivalent friction factor for that, and you determine that if you did any other method or any other problems with that. So this is for two pipes, and then this is the generic expression for n number of pipes. Now let's take a look at the series of pipes in parallel. I have Q1 and Q2. So here I have a total Q, and we don't know that Q1 and Q2 have the same flow rate. It can be different, it can be the same. You can have same diameter pipes or different diameter pipes, but in either situation, what we want is to have an equivalent pipe that has an equivalent flow rate. That then this will be equal to Q1 plus Q2. But then in this case, what we have the same is the head loss across this parallel series has to be the same. So the head loss from point 1 to point 2, pipe 1, has to be the same head loss from point 1 to point 2 through pipe 2. Okay? So in this case, what we have that's equal is the um, losses. So we use again the Darcy-Weisbach expression, and we have it in terms of the flow rate, and just solve the expression for the flow rate, and then we know that what is added is flow 1 plus flow 2, flow rate for filling the equivalent, and we have sort of the same expression, and now everything that is the same will also be cancelled. The A, the pi, the G. So we have the head losses are the summation uh, are the same based on this expression. So this is what we have. So this would be a subscript E here, 1 and 2 as well. So that is the generic expression, and then of course for series or for pipes in parallel, this is the expression that you have, and this table 3.7 has the same derivations, not just for Darcy-Weisbach like we did it, but also for Manning and for Hayes and Williams, for series and in parallel. Keeping in mind that for the pipes in series, what we have that is the same is the flow rate, and for pipes in parallel, what we have that is the same is the friction. Example 310 on page 82 explains very, very well and it shows an example of an analysis of pipes in parallel. And I don't think I can explain it better than it is in the book. But if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Good luck.